Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Era of Chaos. And today we're going to be talking about Steadwick and also War Machines. Now that on the server NA7 we've completed both the siege as well as the defense mode of Steadwick, it is now a regular event for us, and Arsenal, the building, has become available also. So I haven't taken a look at it yet, so what I thought is we would take this episode and just go through the Arsenal. We'll take a look at the War Machines, we'll take a look at what is different now and how you can use them. We'll take a look at the upgrade path, and I also wanted to take this opportunity to introduce to you some resource that a good friend of mine, MTM, has provided, and I'll showcase that in a little bit. But first, let's go and take a look at the arsenal. So once you finish the defense, the very next day, this will be available. And so when you come in here, this is where you have war machines, and war machines are going to be available for you for your use immediately. And this is where you can go and upgrade. And so in order to upgrade, so we start with the level 1, so this is a level 1 battering ram. And if we take a look at what we got here, so basically this is a wall's bane. It will reduce the damage dealt by the archer towers, but it also works nicely as a tank actually. And so if we take a look here, so the skills it has, so the very first skill, Vanguard of Defenders. At the beginning of the battle, battering ram will be sent to the battlefield, so you're going to see it, and it has 60,000 attack and also 100,000 health. So it is a very tanky unit. And the archer, so if you're going up against a siege level, then the archer tower will be, the damage to will be reduced by 50%. And so they have this thing called lethality, so like every point that you add to it will increase your attack and also health. And then there's also armor mastery that increases both attack and basically everything you do to it will give it more attack and more health. Armor mastery is the one that will give it more health, of course. And if we want to do a level up though, I think these are the items that you need. So you need to engage in defensive battles to get the warfare supplies. So then you go to the warfare, get these supplies, and you use them in order to upgrade. So in order to do an upgrade, I was trying to do an upgrade 1, upgrade 5, you need to get these items. And it looks like the max level is 50. If we take a look at the production here, well, this is cool. So you can also have crafting, so you can do these expert crafts, and this gives you these interesting items. I'm not sure what these are, so let's see. We got a shield, cavalier shield. That's like looks to be a almost like legendary type item, but it gives you total armor mastery of plus 1%, etc. It's an epic item actually. So you got epic items. These are all epics, right? And so if we do a common crafting, I guess we're going to get common items, and if you do expert crafting, then you get one of the epic components. It doesn't show you what the common components are though. Oh, here it is. So we've got the legendary, epic, rare, and common unit items. So if you craft something here, then you're going to be able to get this. So let's do a common craft and let's see what this is about. So we do a common craft and it looks like we get, oh, and then we can also try again, but I don't have any of these coins. So these are the things that we have. So we got pig iron materials, human power, wood materials, meter. There's a whole lot of things added to this now, so that's really cool. And if we do expert craft 5 times, then we can get a legendary component. So it's kind of like getting your artifacts, where if you do, if you go to the observatory, you basically do 20 of those, then you get a orange artifact, and if you do enough 100 of the total, then you get a premium orange artifact. So it's basically the same idea. So since I can try again, I'm just going to go ahead and confirm, and now I can go to the so now it's in our warehouse. So now I have these materials that I can use, right? And so let's see, can I consume this? So these are materials that I can use for the mastery. Okay, and then now I can do a refit too. So I can basically go and refit these items. Oh man, this is really complicated stuff. So let's talk about this. So if I were to just press equip, and if I wanted to select this item, okay, so basically this is what I can do. I can go ahead and equip all of these items. Okay, and so now I've added additional texture and additional shield and additional drive. salt drive, like these different things for a charging machine. So this is what's equipped, and now I have increased my basic stats by a little bit. And so this is how you can also increase the overall overall stats of this. And here also I can do some equip here, so let's go ahead and this is good for battering ram. I don't have enough to equip that, but I do have one for measure, so I can equip my ranged machine, my ballista, with one item here. And the ballista, what this does is it will deal true damage to the target unit, and so it's also another machine that will give you a nice additional support. So you can use these machines in multiple different modes, but first let's go and take a look at the Steadwick defensive battle as well as siege battle. So you can do one per day. You can do one defense battle per day and one siege battle per day. So let's start with the siege battle, because this is basically in line with what we did. When you started with Steadwick, you need to siege first to take over. And so let's go and do a battle here. And the recommended lineup are lineups that are good with area of effect attack. And if you take a look at here, level 80 is when you get started. So if you are at level 80 and you've unlocked Steadwick, then you'll be able to participate. And so we'll start with easy. And here you see we can deploy machines. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy these machines here. And when we siege, this was actually the setup I used for my sieging. Although I might just replace my Storm Elemental with Magog there. And so let's try this team out first. So we've equipped our machines, we've got our hero, and that is going to be Gelu with 4 stars. And now let's go in and take a look at our siege battle. So this is meant to be easy, and so it's kind of like the Dragon Utopia. It's whether or not you can defeat it or not, right? So but even if you don't completely defeat it, you'll still get partial credit, is my understanding. So let's take a look and see if that's the case. Right, and so our first goal is to try and take down the walls, but we can probably take down most of these archers in the back too. And so that's actually a little bit tougher than I imagined, because I kind of thought that, okay, so since this is on the easy mode, I was thinking maybe I'll have an easier time taking down the walls. So I got my siege machine, though the siege machine wasn't really doing much there. And so let's see how much we were able to do. So we weren't able to actually complete that, but we did receive 150 military coin supply. So that was the one attack. So that was the first battle there. So not as great as I would have liked. And here are the recommended units though. So we've got Phoenix and Goblin, Angel and Genie, as well as Dendroid Guard. And so what you want is you want heroes that have physical bonuses, etc. So we didn't do that great this time, but we're just this is the first time. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to build on it. And so this will be a series where we can talk about what's the best way, what are the best compositions to be successful here. And so now we're going to be doing a defense battle. And interestingly, this one is where we want more DPS. I think with maybe what I probably could focus on next time when we do a siege battle is to try and bring in more attackers so that we can try and break the wall down, because we didn't successfully take the wall down. Now we're going to be defending, and I'm going to use this lineup, which we used last time to try and take out the bosses. So I have in the lineup, I have a gremlin as well as an ice elemental, so I can freeze the boss. So this should be very similar to how we play the defense battle. And so this one's going to be the number of waves. So let's see how many waves we can actually defeat here. We don't really need to use the stone skin here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and do an attack. Now pay attention to the Azure Dragon. It's going to come out, but just like in a crypt battle, the Azure Dragon doesn't last very long. When we were attacking in the siege defense battle, it's lasting longer now than it did before. But when it's up against the skeletons and the imps, it gets taken out pretty quickly, and that's still the case here. All right, so we should be coming up on the boss. I think wave 13 is when the boss will come. So we're going to let's go and complete these waves here. It feels like it's about the same. And we have some archer support too. We've got some archer support, although it looks like it broke through our walls this time. And so it's going to be wave 11, I believe, is going to be all we could accomplish there. So our first attempt through didn't yield as good of a result as I would have liked. But I think as we continue to build up on our walls and build up on our items, we should improve on this. So not too bad for my first try here. This will require some tweaking, and it's not necessarily exactly the same as when we did the first original siege battle, but this is going to be available on a daily basis. And so this is what siege the Steadwick siege battle looks like. So we've gone through both, and the items that I got, I could then use to go back to the arsenal, and then I can use that to upgrade. So I can see here that what you need to do is you want to dismantle components. So we got these components, and we can go to dismantle. So I don't have any items here to dismantle. I think probably because I have these items that I have equipped. I want to see if this is the case, right? So if I were to unequip one, for example, I wonder if I could dismantle, right? So if I were to upgrade, yeah, so there you go. So I was able to upgrade by taking one of the items there. Yeah, so we can go ahead and so it's this. So we're able to use these to upgrade. I don't know what the gears are for. They're for precision units, but we can level them up. So let's go ahead and level up as much as we could. So we got it to level 8. This is just after one attack. So now we're at level 8, and now I want to show you what we can do with this. So the siege for you can actually use the siege war machines in Duel of Champions. You can use it in, I believe, in Arena. You cannot use it though in these fights. You cannot use it in the crypt. So if you go to the crypt, you go to the battle, you cannot use it. You cannot use it in the Dwarven Treasury either. Basically, any of the gate fights you cannot use it in. You could, however, you could use it in Dragon Invasion, and you could also use it in the Duel of Champions, as I mentioned. So let's go ahead and do a Duel of Champions fight, and we'll start. So Duel of Champions has just reset as well. So let's go and get started. What we'll do is we're going to start from the first level, and I'm just going to show you what it's like. So what's nice is, like I said, the battering ram is just like an additional tank. So what we can do here is, this is now the new UI. We can go in and we can deploy the machines, and they do boost your power a little bit as well. Okay, and so what we're going to do here is make sure that my formation is correct. We'll be using this formation, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. So when the battle starts, what you'll see is the battering ram will be on the field with you, and then the ballista will be up on the top. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you set your defense. You also set your team in Duel of Champions and your PvP as well, so that you have them equipped also, so that you will have them available. So you can see here we have the battering ram up top. It's both dealing damage and also absorbing hits, so you can treat it just like an additional tank, which is really helpful. And it's going to change a little bit on just, I think it'll change a little bit on your strategy. Also, what I'm looking forward to finding out is whether this will be also available in the Battle of Gods, in the Pantheon, because as you know, in Pantheon you only have 3 lanes, and so adding the ballista, adding the battering ram is going to add additional units than what you normally could get. And so that was how you would use the siege machines. And if you wanted more information, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, my good friend MTM, he has he has created a website that is basically a collection of a lot of data, a ton of data on Era Chaos content, and he just added War Machine information to it as well. So I will have the link to his database in the description of my video below. So you can see here he has everything from events to heroes, to how you would upgrade, the lores, and also spells and unit information. There's just a really good set of information that's available. Put a lot of work into it, so kudos to him for doing that. And so if you're interested in knowing about the progression of your units, progression of these war machines, and also how the skills work, etc., he's collecting the info and he's updating the spreadsheets regularly. And so make sure you take a look, and then also provide any feedback there if you like. All right, and so that is the siege machine here, and like I said, it is available on a daily basis. So make sure if you have it unlocked, start doing this regularly so that you can upgrade your units, and you can use it in various battles. So let's take a look and see conflicts, right? So if it's also available in conflicts, which I think it is, it will be really helpful too, because it will, oh no, it's not available. So complex planes, unfortunately, you will not be able to take advantage of the siege machines, because having an extra tank in these battles will be extremely helpful, and unfortunately that is not available. And so you'll be able to do this in I guess in the fights where you'll be up against other players. And so make sure that in your formation, just set your war machines in, so that when other people are attacking you, you'll have it equipped already. So that is all for today's episode for Siege Machines. I just wanted to give a quick first look on what it's like, and how it works, and how it looks in battle. So thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions or any feedback, please feel free to comment below. You can also, if you're on the NA-7 server, I'll also have a link to the Discord server. I invite you all to join there. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.